one of the things I'm a big fan of that you've done, and this is like YouTube clip, like infamy. You know where I'm going, don't you?
No, right where
you probably get asked this all the time, right? But I want to ask you: the fat guy, the backflip off. Who came up with that idea? Did you just do it out on the fly? What happened?
You know, I don't remember. So this guy, he's real fat. His name is Tim Regal. Just a little shout out to Timothy Regal.
Timmy.
And he's big, and we always made fun of him because I mean he's oblong shaped too. He's very strange. We always made fun of that. You could set something on his belly as like a tabletop, and I was like, well, maybe I could jump off of his belly, and like I just came up with the idea of wanting to do it, and luckily I was actually in the match with Evan Bourne.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you look at it, it's Evan Bourne, and like we had positioned the fat man against the ring post so that he wouldn't fall over and I could get a nice base off of him, and somehow I managed to get onto his belly, do a complete moonsault, and not hurt anybody, and it lives in infamy. Yeah, you're right.
It was awesome. Will we see that at WrestleMania? Are you going to have Tim come to Mania? I mean, it'd be a big payday for him, and he'd be excited to be on worldwide TV. Would you ever do it to a fat dude at WrestleMania?
You know what? I think that's like a once-in-a-lifetime situation. I don't think we're ever going to get away with that one again.
It was pretty cool. That was like, to even get the footing to do that, I don't know how the heck you did it. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, people think I'm a ninja now. They go back and watch that. That's real ninja skills right there, man.
Well, it is. I want to talk about, you say ninja, I want to bring this up. I'm sure it's not your favorite thing to talk about, but a couple months ago, you're doing your entrance. I know you hear this all the time, too, I'm sure. You're doing your entrance, and you come in and you go to jump over the barricade, and it's a little loose, not your fault, just gives way and you fall. First, let's ask you the first question. What was going through your mind? That would be terrible.
Well, I appreciate, first of all, that you have pinned the fault on the barricade and not in my athletic skills, because most people believe that it was my fault, that I was trying to do my roll over and somehow slipped. That's not the case. The barricade broke on me, all right? What happened is I'm going over sideways, and when I put pressure on the top of the barricade, the section that I was pressing on went down and underneath me, and so I just went whoop right out from underneath it, and it was like a big moment. We're on live TV, you can't go back. Thankfully, we have an amazing production crew, and they were able to cut away at the very second that the thing went down, and so you don't really have like an amazing view of it. You kind of have it off on the side there, but dude, I mean, the only thing that was going through my mind was, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like in a panic mode because we still had to go beat the crap out of Daniel Bryan. So like, I was just like, oh God, I hope nobody saw me, which is completely the most irrational thing to think because everybody saw you.
Live TV.
You're on live TV. Thousands of people in the arena saw you, and millions of people on TV were going to replay that 100 times on the DVRs, like, saw you. So, oh well, roll with the punches, man.
Well, and then you have the people that didn't know about it. You have a moron like me that brings it up in an interview, so now they're going to look for it. So I do apologize for that, but it's a moment that's going to live in infamy, man.
It's all good. That's one of those botchamania moments for life. It's pretty good.
Botchamania guy?
Of course, yeah. Why the hell not? That's one of the best 20, 30 minutes of your life every week. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely awesome. But I actually believe I heard Stone Cold talking about that when you fell. And did it comfort you? I mean, you had to be a little upset at first when it happened. Like, of course, emotions. But did it comfort you to know that a guy like Stone Cold, who's done it all in wrestling, kind of laughed about it and thought that it was funny? He's had stuff like that happen to him, too?
Yeah, you know what? I'd never met Steve. We were out in L.A. for some live events. We did a Raw there, and he showed up. I think we might have done a pay-per-view, but I don't know. I don't remember what we were there for. It was right after we did it. Never met Steve. First time I see him, that's the first thing he says to me. He references this incident we're discussing right now, and he's just like, he had a great time with it. He thought it was the funniest thing ever, and he ended up tweeting me about it like later on and stuff like that. And like, so it was good. It's a good icebreaker, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we all have, you know, hiccups, and I don't know if you've ever seen Roman's got the one from Europe where he like tries to vault into the ring over the top rope and he just eats crap, and like, you know, everyone's got something. Ambrose has one where we're exiting the arena once, and he like you know, we go through the side there, kind of, he whacks his head on the lighting rig and stuff like that. So like, it's just gonna happen, you know what I'm saying?
You do it so much.
Yeah, I mean, we hop over that barricade hundreds of times a year. Like, somebody's about to, you know, bound to just crash and burn.
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm focusing on your entrance, and your entrance is a great part of what you guys do. I do worry about you a little bit, to be honest. I know I don't need to, but I do, because if you think about it, your entrance, when you do the flip over the barricade, whether that's a little soft or not, doing that every night, hitting those mats, doing that flip, that's got to wreak havoc on your back and stuff. I mean, when you get older now, you'd be like 50 years old and they'll expect you to do that. I mean, did you ever think of that?
Nah, man, it's a roll. It's easy. It's like if you got a nice hollow arch there, and you kind of just roll. It's not too bad. It's not like a bam, like a regular bump. It's like a little roll.
It's like poetry in motion, man. It's awesome.
Yeah,
They really do it so nice.
It's smooth. You know what I mean? You just got to go with the flow. It's an art form. I've perfected it over the year. You know what I'm saying?
So coming through the crowd in your entrance, that's another thing. It's very cool on TV. It's cool to see that people that want to be wrestlers like, oh, that's cool. They're with the people. That's got to wreak havoc, too, because there's some fans maybe too much to drink. I feel like if it would have been in the late 90s when it was insane in the crowd, it would have been harder. Do you guys have a hard time coming through the crowd? I mean, it looks like you walk right through.
Yeah, you know what? Surprisingly, over the last year and a half, we haven't had many issues. There's been a couple of times where somebody's like jumped out in front of us when they had too much to drink, and but they get handled very quickly. We have great security here in the WWE, and they're always looking out for us. But I don't know that it would have been any worse. I mean, you look at the Sandman, and he was doing the same thing back in the late 90s. He was losing his mind, drinking beer, having a great time with So and I don't think he encountered too many issues as far as I know. So
except when he was pouring the beer down the gullet of somebody that was under 21 because he was hammered himself. I mean, there was issues in that, but no. And I wouldn't mess with the Sandman. He'd probably drunkenly beat you up.
Yeah, different era, man.
That was crazy. So I know you have so much good ability in the ring, and I feel like of the Shield, now don't take us the wrong way, but I feel like of the Shield, you're the guy with some of the most talent, and I feel like you're kind of just starting to blossom and show the WWE audience your talent more so than ever. I really feel like they're accepting what you have to offer. Have you seen a change in the last couple months with the audience and your stuff that you're doing?
Yeah, we've just been putting opportunities more that are tailored to my strengths, I think. Working with the Wyatt family and being those types of matches and just being positioned the way we have been is really, like I said, just played to my strengths. And in the realm of the Shield, for whatever reason, it's a very cyclical thing. We all get our time to shine, you know what I mean? And mine just happens to be right now. So it seems like it's been a good run for me, and I appreciate everybody appreciating me, man, because I'm having a lot of fun.
No, and that comes through with what you guys are doing because and I mean this, I'm not just saying this for hype. You guys are really fun to watch. I want to talk about, there it is. I want to talk about your hair. I'm looking at your hair, the other side of it. No, I'm looking at the other side of hair. So now, was this your idea or did somebody come up with this? How'd you come up with the idea to do that with your hair?
No, we were down in developmental, and I'm looking around, all these dudes with long, dark hair. Roman was one of them. Leo Kruger's down there with long, dark hair. Me, and we all have beards and tan and jacked. And we're just like, dude, I got to do something to, just anything to, peacock a little bit, you know what I mean? Just to stand out a little bit. Just like, oh, that's the guy with the blonde in his hair. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just something. So just said, hey, mind if I, dye a patch of my hair blonde? They're like, yeah, go for it. Boom, that's it. Been there a year and a half, and now it's just I need to stop because it's breaking. It's just bad, and it's not good for my hair.
You'll be bald on one side. That'd be a new gimmick for you.
Hey, you never know. I think Gabriel's got that half-shaved head thing going down, though.
How often do you do the dye job?
Once a month, maybe 6 weeks or so.
You are wreaking havoc, man.
Yeah, well, you got to keep it fresh, man. You can't have them roots coming through, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. And then in everyday life, I mean, do you wear a hat usually when you're not promoting, or do you enjoy let people see the hairs? Do you like it looks?
No, I don't mind the way it looks, but I wear a hat to whatever the opposite of peacocking is. I try to conceal myself just so I don't. Yeah, exactly. So I don't get stopped in the street too much. I like to be able to, get out and have a meal and not be bothered too much. So.
I feel you. All right, last question, then we'll wrap it up here. You obviously, your body of work speaks for itself. Some people may not know it, WWE fans, but you're going into WrestleMania. New Age Outlaws and Kane with your boys. This is probably one of the biggest matches, if not the biggest match of your career. But the adjustment coming from where you were to coming to WWE, was that a hard adjustment? And tonight, 48 hours away at WrestleMania, do you think that adjustment will pay off for you, in your career?
It was a bit of a compromise, but I've always stuck to my guns, man. I truly believe that if you just kind of stick to what you're good at and how you do things, somebody actually told me one time, this was, won't name names, but he said, I can't do that. Maybe one day I'll write it in the book. He said, what helped you, and this is when I was in developmental, he said, what helped you get here is not what's going to help you make it up there. I like that. And I totally disagree with him because I thought what got me here was hard work and dedication, and that's what's going to make me a success in WWE. And so it was an adjustment, a compromise, but at the same time, man, I'm just doing me. And I think that's been good enough for a lot of people, so that's pretty cool.
It has, and it's really cool. So you're doing you, which leads to WrestleMania 2, second one, man. So, and you got a long way to go yet. There's a huge upside on your career. Seth Rollins, thank you for being so giving on the interview. Proud to have you here, and I wish you nothing but safety and luck, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me, Brian. Thank you.